Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines here. Biden administration is going to have some information in the coming weeks, if not this week, on ransomware attack and crypto payments. El Salvador is investigating government purchase of Bitcoin and flare update and what can happen to your Songbird distribution. Coinbase and Homeland Security deal. Wyoming's decentralized autonomous organization makes a landmark registration. We'll get into it. ECB and CBDCs and the launch woes. We'll talk about that. And I got some Uphold news. If you're a UK or an EU customer, we got to ask the question, what is going on over there? XRP Ledger lowers its reserve, and we got Ripple piloting the private ledger for central banks, in case you forgot. And isn't it to a great degree that that's what this all is about with the Ripple lawsuit? We'll talk about it. And the SEC and Gary Gensler's path forward for cryptocurrency. Well, I can tell you what, we also have this. The SEC is declaring war on crypto, and they are denying the Freedom of Information Act. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here, make sure you give us a follow there. We are at 1.94 trillion right now. We are bleeding off even more. 8.71% decrease over the last 24 hours here for the cryptocurrency market space. Bitcoin is now below 44,000 at 43,000 plus and steady falling. Ethereum at 3,000, almost flat now. Cardano at 213. We have XRP at 93 cents and now 92 cents. We're off 13.43% just in the 24-hour. Take a look at this range. Right now, we have dipped as low as 88 cents on the lower end range, and we see here $1.07. So fighting back off of that, one of those back-tested support zones we've talked about with many of the technical analysts here on the channel, talking about 85, 86 cents. Well, we touched 88, and we could go as low as 76, 75 cent range as well. So don't be surprised if you see it. If we get below those margins and stay, or price points, and stay below those price points, then we need to have a real conversation about what's really going on here. So take a look here, because I tell you, I think I'll be buying this dip after this video is done. Not financial advice, and none of this is, but let's get into the news. Ladies and gentlemen, Link2's Global Investor Conference is tomorrow, and I really encourage any of you that are interested in being in this space for any length of time, whether it be on the private equity side, which is what they handle, and they make private investing very simple. And if you're not accredited, click the button and find out what you need to do to get accredited. You may surprise yourself. But if you're interested in being in this space for any length of time, whether it's on the private equity side or the blockchain crypto side, I tell you this, you would be wise to tune in and follow what they're covering at Link2, because they really have a lot of the investors and the leaders that are in this blockchain crypto space, and they can let you know exactly what's coming in the plans for their individual company's future. Looking right here, this is a reminder from Clinton Donnelly. As early as this week, the Biden administration will announce new measures, including sanctions that will make it more difficult for hackers to seek cryptocurrency payments in ransomware attacks. Now, this gets pretty interesting, because we know we have companies like Chainalysis out there, CipherTrace, right, and those things. And let us not forget that Chainalysis is Michael Moiser, who left the Treasury to go head up Chainalysis, and then not long ago, probably 6-8 months ago, went back to the Treasury after getting Chainalysis up, and Chainalysis does work for many different government agencies as well as exchanges. So very interesting to see what may come out of that. Now let's take a look at this. This is an update from Flare, and they say the exchanges have 4 options when it comes to the Songbird distribution. 1 is to distribute it. 2 is to burn, and which is observable on chain. 3, hold with a view to potentially distributing it later. And 4, keep it for themselves. Let's hope that number 4 doesn't happen. We have asked them to clearly articulate their plans, asked them for clarity. So they're encouraging all of us to engage with the exchanges that you are on, that you know should be participating, and get them to clarify which one of those options they will be doing. Okay. More drama here in El Salvador, who recently declared Bitcoin legal tender here. The Court of Accounts is now looking into an investigation from a complaint about the government's purchase of Bitcoin and construction of kiosks for cryptocurrency ATMs. You know, it's just been a bit of a struggle there ever since this has come about with El Salvador. Hopefully they can get it straight here. Coinbase strikes a deal. Now, I found this completely interesting, and I think you might too. Coinbase strikes a deal for $1.36 million with Homeland Security, offering analytics tools. Coinbase Analytics will make available public blockchain data to analyze American residents' knowledge. I would go ahead and put inside of this, if you haven't thought of it already, if you're not declaring crypto you've sold and that kind of business on Coinbase and you're a customer there, you may want to reconsider. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Looking right here, Wyoming-based DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, in other words, a DeFi platform, has submitted a landmark registration for the registering of its entity as an LLC, as well as the registration process of 2 crypto tokens. S1 is the first means of registering DAOs and crypto tokens with the SEC in the state of Wyoming. Now, if we just go into this very briefly here, why is this important? Well, we know DeFi is extremely important. We know that Gary Gensler and the SEC have made it very clear that they want to squash DeFi and get a hold of it and regulate it. We know that they threatened to sue Coinbase over their lending platform. And then, of course, we start asking the questions there. Well, how come other platforms can get away with it, but now you're threatening to sue Coinbase over what they were going to do? So this was recently passed in Wyoming to have decentral autonomous organizations and DeFi platforms, but there's a catch. You have to register an LLC that is attached to the decentralized autonomous organization for liability and accountability, and that's what we're seeing here. And that means decentralization ain't so decentralized, right? It is, but it isn't. So the platform can be designed to work in a decentralized manner with no intermediary. However, if there's something erroneous or malicious or wrong with the platform, there will be names attached to these decentralized autonomous organizations to be held accountable for such things. And for that, I don't believe it's a bad idea at all. Now, this gets quite interesting here because a key official at the ECB, European Central Bank, has said that the forthcoming central bank digital currency CBDC test at the ECB do not guarantee the eventual launch of a digital euro, in a statement which will dampen rampant speculation about the bank's proposal. So once again, they're putting a wet blanket on the fire here, saying, no, just because we're going to this upcoming test here and forthcoming test here, that doesn't mean that we're going to be doing anything in the near term, right? Okay, I get it. But I'll tell you something, and I don't know if these two things are actually related, but I will tell you this. This was sent to me. And this here says, hope all is well. Hope you had a good weekend. A very important update regarding assets that are available to UK and EU users on Uphold's platform. Now listen to this. This is pretty remarkable. Update to assets available. And maybe some of you in the UK and EU can help me out with this, because I really still want to verify that all of this is legit and that this is really going to happen. It says here, below outline for UK and EU users, these assets which will no longer be available to new and existing users from these regions. EU and UK users who currently have open positions on the below assets will remain. They will only have the option to sell these. Our services offering to our U.S. and other regions remain unaffected, says Uphold. If you have content targeting UK and EU, please ensure you are promoting the correct assets available to users in those regions. This means if you have an Uphold review, it would be ideal to have 2 sections regarding assets offered for U.S. versus UK, for the U.S. and the rest of the world. So look at this. A list of available assets in the EU after the above removal. of available assets. So this is going to be still available here. So they do see XRP still here, right? This is unbelievable. I don't know what else is coming off of here. Somebody sent me a message and said stable coins were coming off. So this is pretty remarkable here. So, if anybody in the UK and EU has information on this that can clarify this a little further for us, please send it out. I mean, it looks like, the other thing I say is like, look, are they preparing for the onset of a new stable coin from the EU, like a EU stable coin, a UK stable coin? We know that JP Terriot has mentioned many times, and we've covered it here just a few months ago, that he said some kind of an acquisition or a merger or a possible IPO for Uphold. And would this be them streamlining their assets in order to prepare for such a merger, acquisition, or an IPO as well? Now that could be very interesting too. So, okay, let's keep moving on here because it gets even better. Opening accounts on the XRP ledger, they lower the reserves, everybody. Yeah, how about that one? Yeah, now it is 2 times cheaper. A proposal to lower the XRP ledger's minimum reserve requirements from 20 XRP to 10 has successfully passed after several weeks of voting. Well, look, this is exciting to me. And look, not financial advice, but I look at this and think to myself, wow, price must be going up. You know what I mean? Because if price goes up, then it costs about the same to only have half as much on as a minimum reserve. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm speculating. But it does feel like, from what the technical analysts say, we could be heading in that direction. Anyway, looking right here, I just want to remind people of this because this was put out yesterday again by Ripple to remind everybody. Did you know that we're piloting technology for central banks to issue and manage CBDCs? In case you missed it, read how CBDCs can provide central banks with the flexibility, secure solution for exploring digital currencies and becoming the on and off ramps to the new digital world, remaining in control and relevant and powerful, which they don't mention, but it is true. And you have to ask yourself when you see this as a reminder, isn't this what everything is about to a great degree? The reason I believe Ripple is being sued over XRP is because they actually have achieved their goal. That's why they are piloting a private ledger for central banks to launch their digital currencies. I really do believe that. And, and we know to a great degree it's true. But we also know that Gary Gensler, in the meantime, and his mission at the SEC is to really take over the entire digital asset space to a great degree and make all of those things, in his eyes, stable coins included, digital asset securities. So they fall under the purview of the SEC. Then they can tuck those inside of the already framework that exists for securities, write a few amendments and issuances for the fact that these tokens have a bit of utility to them. And then they can say, you know what, there's much less risk here if we call the majority of this market securities, and we can go ahead from there and just let it all roll. And you get everything through a dealer broker network and so on and so on. But, we will see what happens. However, this really is becoming a war against crypto. And John Deaton says it right here. As Charles Gasparino has reported, governments and regulators have declared war on crypto, and the implications from the SEC enforcement and Ripple and its outcome become more significant each day. There's no question about that. Shout out to John Deaton. And Charles Gasparino says here just a short time ago, just a couple hours ago here, people who know Gary Gensler say his path forward are really slim, because he says his chances of him ceding power or cooperating to engage the crypto industry in a new regulatory regime are close to zero. He will seek to leverage the SEC's power on this unless government or the courts step in. That's how big this is getting. It really does require Congress to come in and really lay down the legislative framework to define this space enough. Because as Cryptopolis had said many times on this channel years ago, you cannot legislate what you haven't defined. And it isn't more true than it is today. That is a fact. And that's exactly where we are. And what we're watching is we're watching Gary Gensler use this lack of clarity and legislative clarity from Congress to do exactly that. He's continuing to overreach. My question is we're not seeing anyone from other areas try to stop him, like the CFTC, for instance. But it gets even worse. This is from Crypto Law and John Deaton right here. Watchdog group Empower Us says SEC is trying to evade the Freedom of Information Act for requests with massive fee maneuver, shielding Jay Clayton and William Hinman from investigation of potential conflicts of interest in crypto actions while in office. This is deplorable right here, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to really, again, work together to retweet, politely share and tag the important people in mainstream media like Charles Gasparino and others, and really shine a light on what they're trying to do here. If you look at this, it basically says that the recently sought after documents by the whistleblower organization here on potential conflicts with the SEC and involving cryptocurrencies and former high-level officials like Hinman and Clayton, the SEC denied the Empower's oversight request for the standard fee waiver that is generally available to publishers and nonprofits seeking information to public interest rather than for a commercial purpose. If not overturned, this denial will thwart transparency by enabling the SEC to impose expensive search and document duplication fees that would be an undue burden on a nonprofit public interest group. Now, that sounds like dirty pool right there. That is some dirty pool, dirty poker, however you like to say it. And I tell you, it really tells me that there is a there. That's what it tells me. And I think we've all seen enough damning information and video, whether it be from a clip from DAI or someone else like myself or something, that really shows at this point, it really isn't about a lack of clarity. And you know, Hester Peirce used an incredible phrase when she talked about it. She calls it a decided lack of clarity, which really is an important phrase, a decided lack of clarity. A choice to not be clear is what that means. And that is quite damning in itself too. Well, I tell you what, the good thing is that we do have the truth on our side and they do not. And we just need to keep pressing and keep pressing forward, because when you have the truth on your side, it may take a while for it to really get to the top. But I've been through this before on my channel, and the truth does make it to the top. You just got to be strong enough to carry it there. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Share with somebody you know and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I Trust Capital is the best gold, crypto, silver IRA on the planet, bar none. And in fact, the only thing better than buying crypto is buying tax-free crypto. But you got to click the links. 99 cent 7-day trial on Pure VPN. Help hide your identity online. It's wonderful. Check out Cold Storage, Ledger Nano, great sales on those, but you gotta click the links. I'll catch all of you on the next one.